What is happening in the sports?
Getting news for you.
Hello Python programmers, this is AK. In this video we are going to create a new Python project which is able to fetch you all the latest news by taking your voice command. So we are not going to use any new things for this project. For taking and processing the voice command, we are using the speech recognition library, and for grabbing the news we are using one library which is named as Google News. So the speech recognition is mostly familiar to you because there is a high chance of know about this library, but the Google News library is new to you in Python. So before we do this project, this is not a first video in the speech recognition. I already did many projects regarding this library, and each project I implemented with different concepts. So it is very useful one, and I created a separate playlist for all voice based projects. I put the link in the description so you can check those videos. Definitely that will help you and it will give you some new sparks in your head. So before learning something from this video, do like, share, comment and subscribe. These things will help me to produce more useful contents in Python. And if you want to reach me out personally, then this is my Instagram ID. You can ask any doubts about Python, and if you need any assistance for your project, you can ping me on Instagram. I will definitely help you. So let's start this video. First of all, I'm not going to show you the installation of every library that we are going to use here. If you want those things, then check out the previous project that I did, which is present on this playlist, and also I covered all the basics about the speech recognition library. You have to check this playlist if you are not familiar with the speech recognition library. So first of all, let me show you how we are going to fetch the news from the internet. For that, you need to import the Google News library. So this library is act as a source for this project, and it will collect the news based on your data that you are given. Look at this is a pretty simple code. In this code I just mentioned the topic tech. So when you run this program, it will go to the Google News database and it will fetch you the tons of tech news on your terminal. Now we are going to integrate this code with our speech recognition library. That is a pretty simple thing to do for me. For doing this project, you have to import all necessary libraries. We need three important libraries. The first one is the speech recognition, second one is the Google News, and final one is the Python text to speech conversion. After that, you need to call the two instances, which are the Google News and Python text to speech. So if you are a beginner in Python, please note it down. These instances are a kind of initialization. When you are not typing these two statements, then your program won't recognize the syntax which are from these two libraries. So instead of recognition, it will throw you some kind of error message. So after getting those errors, you guys will comment me like, I tried everything you did, but I faced this kind of error. Please help me about this. That is not a good thing. So that's why I'm suggesting you to watch the full video. If you skip anything, you won't understand anything from this video. Okay. So next we need to set the voice for this assistant. You are able to change the voices for this program. So there are two options are there, male voice and female voice. For getting the voices, you need to get the voice property from the speech recognition library. I will show you how to change the voices. So all you need to do is create a variable called voice and then type voice.getProperty. In this method, you need to give the voice parameter. So when you type this statement, you can able to change the voices of your assistant. Now we need to give the voice ID. So in this piece of code, I just gave number 1 in the list of voice ID. This is for the female voice, and if you want the male voice, you need to change the number to 0. So we already called two instances. Now we need to call another instance, that is the speech recognizer. So with this step, we completed the initial steps for this program. Next step, we are going to write the logic for our voice assistant. I'm going to write the logics under this function that I named as CMD. That means the commands. First step is we are going to access the microphone. We are using the speech recognition library for that process. So in this library, we are having one syntax, that is speech recognition.microphone. So when you type this statement, you are now able to access your microphone. Secondary steps are clearing your background noises and recording your voices. Here I just added these two syntaxes. The first one is able to clear the background noises and second one is used to record your voices. In the first one, I added one parameter that is called duration. Basically, this parameter is used to clear the background noise of viewers for some duration of time. Here I gave 0 0.5 value to the duration. I think it means the 0 0.5 milliseconds of time it will take to clear the background noises. Next, I added another parameter called timeout in the syntax for recording. It means it will take 1 minute duration for recording your voices. Okay. So next steps are very important one. You can see here I created one variable text. This text variable is used to recognize your audio. If you're speaking the English language, then you have to set the language parameter as English. So only this program will recognize the commands, and it is a flexible syntax. If you want to change the language into any other language, it is possible in this program. Suppose if you want to give the commands in Hindi, then you need to give the language code as HI. Then this program will recognize the Hindi commands from yours. So next step, I added an except statement. Why I added this thing means sometimes your program might have chance to freeze. At that time, it doesn't give any acknowledgement about what is happening in the program. That time, this except statement will print the results about your program. So you can easily identify those errors in your program. Okay. Actual logic is start from here. Sometimes the headlines will be enough to describe the daily news. For retrieving the headlines, I just added a condition statement here. If your command contains anything about the headlines, then your program will print the headlines. Suppose if you are giving the command like, hey, what about today headlines? You can see headline word is present in your command. So this will be recognized by this program and it will bring you the latest results. So this is my logic here. Next I added text to speech conversion code. This is simply convert your text into speech form. So for retrieving the headlines from the Google News library, you need to type googlenews.getnews, and in this method you need to give the parameter like the today news. And then you need to type the get result and get text statement. This is mainly used to print the results on your terminal. Okay. You can see the previous program, our output is in the form of array. That is not look like professional. For removing the array brackets, I know one short trick I learned from the hacker rank. So by default, this program will give you so many results in the array data type. For removing the square brackets, you need to add an asterisk sign in front of the square brackets. So this will help you to remove the square brackets from your output. I want only the 5 headlines. So I just slice the array from 1 to 5 elements. This process is actually called slicing in the array operation. So that's all about this logic. For now, it will only give the headlines about the today. If you want the rest of the topics like tech, sports, politics, cricket, and you can add those topics if you want. So you can see here I just added 4 extra topics for this program. So it will retrieve the respective topic news by recognizing your voice command. Okay, so let's run this program. What is happening in the sports? So our program works perfectly as I expected. I think you learned something new from this video. Make sure to check this entire playlist. This will be definitely help you to make a complete voice assistant using speech recognition library. If you like this video, give a like and subscribe and share with your friends who want to build a voice based project in Python. So thanks for watching and thank you. See you on next another video.